Portugal. There's a YouTube show full of fun facts you need to know.
Okay, hola, bon dia, alegria. Munson here with the Good Morning Portugal show, the live stream, the podcast, and of course the Portugal Club, where you can take part in the Portuguese citizenship test question. It'll be 37 this morning, folks. So we'll go there in just a moment. And it's a continuation of yesterday's question, which city, and we had a little bit of pedantry coming in, which I must add actually to the proceedings. Which city hosted the University of Portugal, one of the oldest in Europe? And the choices were Lisbon, Coimbra, or Porto. It was, of course, Coimbra. However, point of order, we'll come back to that. Thank you very much, Coach, for your intervention on that. And I think Philomena will be very proud of you on that. So we shall come back to the Portugal citizenship test question. Number 37, no less, as we work our way towards having you gen up on all that is useful, mainly in Portuguese culture, such that if you do a Portuguese citizenship test to test your Portugueseness, we will have stood you in better stead for that. So we'll come back to that. Barak, I think, is joining us this morning. He was going to do a sound check at 7:45 this morning. Nowhere to be seen. He wanted to make sure he could share a screen with us this morning. Oh, good morning to you, Gemini, to you, Mike, Matty, and Sarah. Audio was out first couple of seconds. Yes, that was my first sparring challenge with technology and AI, but I saw what it was up to and I quickly dealt with that. Come at me, bro. Come at me, tech bro. What else have you got for me this morning? I'm ready for you. I shouldn't really say that, should I? Their level of patience and resources is far greater than mine. And how lovely to see you, Sarah Taylor, this morning. Bon dia to you. How are you doing? Any pictures you want to send in? Memes? 913-590-303. Do that. 913-590-303 if you want to send me a message off screen. Otherwise, the stage is set. And I've added the comments panel onto the screen there so that if you want to type something infantile, childish, and immature, you can do that and you can see the fruit of your labor on the screen immediately. You're very welcome. You're very welcome. I've got something a little bit unusual to share as well this morning. I mean, you could argue that there's quite a lot of that, generally speaking, on the Good Morning Portugal show. But one of the presidential candidates of Portugal, Joana Amaral Dias, an interesting lady who, if you'll immediately recognize her, because I think you'll have seen her as doing a bit of punditry. If you ever catch Portuguese TV, and let's face it, it's very hard to escape Portuguese TV, is it not? Oh, the other thing I want to ask you, have you brought anything through CTT Customs recently? Mrs. M ordered something from the United States, and it's in a Raiders of the Ark kind of warehouse, I suspect, on the outskirts of Lisbon. And I began that process last night. It seemed fairly straightforward, but typically bureaucratic. And I'm getting to the bit where I'll have to pay probably more than the thing cost in the first instance. But what's your experience of bringing parcels into Portugal? And thanks, Matty, for that information on getting married. I'd like to share that, if I may. Maybe not on the screen here this morning, but and it's quite a list. Maybe there's not enough space to share every piece of paperwork that you need to get married here in Portugal on the screen this morning. I maybe haven't got enough megabytes to include it. It's a hell of a list, isn't it? But I'd like to include that at the Portugal Club as a useful resource to others, if I may. So back to Joana Amaral Dias, a presidential candidate. I don't know what chance she stands, quite honestly. She comes from what would be called by the mainstream media a fringe party, a crazy party even, ADN. I thought some of their response to some of the things going on in Portuguese society were very interesting. And in fact, we had one of the representatives on the show, didn't we, long ago? We do seem to have more of the fringy and marginal types on our show than the mainstream, although everybody's welcome. And if you know somebody from a political party who you think we should talk to, send them my number or give me their number, and I'll make that happen. I think it's good for us to look at this from all the angles, of course. Oh, and this evening, talking about looking at things from all the angles, Understanding Islam tonight at 8 o'clock. Two interesting podcasts tonight. 6 o'clock, the Positive Echo podcast is entitled Never Too Old, Never Too Late. And we have a patron saint of such behavior joining us. Gail is joining us tonight to talk about how you're never too old, it's never too late to reset and start your life again and do something you enjoy, which I trust as a Gumper you're already doing. But she'll be an interesting guest at 6 with me and Gary Coulton. And at 8, Dr. Aleem joins me for Understanding Islam this evening. Understanding the Other, Understanding Islam. That's tonight at 8 o'clock. Open-hearted discussion beyond the algorithm. And I'm not sure what Joanna Amaral Diaz would say about this, but I trust she is an open mind. She must be an open-minded person, because I saw her as I was looking at X, Twitter, over the weekend. There was a big digital ID march. Anti, as you might expect, given that there was a march, concerns about the digital ID in the UK. She flew over to the UK to take part in the anti-digital ID march in London. And guess who she bumped into? You and me, Joanna, have both interviewed this character. Me back in 1994. You, many years later, it would appear. Yeah, my goodness, 31 years later, on the streets of London. And there are two interesting characters here. Your first test this morning, this is not a Portuguese citizenship test question, by the way. This is a conspiracy theory test, a test of your tinfoil hattedness this morning. Where are they? Have you got yours? Go grab it, because it's time to put it on. This is quite extraordinary. Who is this that Joanna is talking to? And then who is the other gentleman that she's talking to? Has a very famous relative in British politics. But check this out, and what went on in London with a Portuguese presidential hopeful.
From Lisbon, actually. From Lisbon. I came with a couple of friends on purpose because people in Portugal are still sleeping. They're not aware of the perils and the risks that are actually happening all over the world. So, David, please leave us a message to help people awake in Portugal.
Oh dear! Just in a sentence.
A couple of sentences. How is freedom so important to our country?
Yeah. The thing is, if you don't have freedom of speech, you cannot have access to all the information that's available.
Thank you.
What you're having is only that which the state wants you to have. You see, if you think about what controls people and what controls their behaviour, it's their perception of reality.
Right.
So where does perception of reality come from? It comes from the information you receive.
Of course.
It might be a Facebook post, it might be the 9 o'clock news, it might be in a personal experience. And you take this information and you form it into a perception which then dictates your behaviour. So what they're seeking to do is what censorship is all about. It's about controlling the information you receive to impact a sense of reality to the agenda. So the more freedom of speech and communication you have, the more diverse is the information, the more diverse is the information from which you're forming your perceptions.
Yeah.
Your perceptions take on a much greater panorama of possibility.
So it's not for your convenience, it's to control you.
In Portugal, this is being really hard because they refuse cash. It's against the law in Portugal, but nobody does anything. We call the police, we ask authorities to help us, but nobody cares. We are alone in these fights. That's why we came from Portugal, to mingle here and to know you guys. We are part of the global resistance. Say no to digital ID. Yes.
No to digital ID worldwide.
Please leave a message to Portugal. Yeah. Why do we have to resist?
Portugal solidarity. We resist all digital ID because we want to keep our freedom.
Yeah, we love freedom. Freedom forever, guys. Freedom. Woo. Eu repelo a todos os europeus, a todos os portugueses, nomeadamente a todos os outros portugueses que estão espalhados pelo mundo inteiro, que se juntem à resistência contra a tirania, contra a mentira, contra a supressão dos nossos direitos de liberdade e garantias que nos custaram tanto a ganhar, tanto a vencer. Não abram mão deles nem em nome da segurança, nem em nome da conveniência, da verdade sempre.
Well, that was interesting, was it not? Mel arrived just in time, it seems. By the way, bom dia. Thank you, Adrian, for being here this morning. Seja alegre, porque Cristo é resuscitó. Christ is risen. Be joyful, for Christ is risen. Only those backed by big parties or lots of independents stand a realistic chance of winning the Portuguese presidency. Funny that. Bon dia from rainy Stockholm as well. Anna, good morning to you. Lovely to see you. And bouncing back out from whence it came. What, the your tinfoil hat? So look, this is GMP merchandise, I'll have you know, required wearing for the coming times. You could also add to that, I was right, could you not? Emblazoned. But we're not like that. We're not like that here. Let's keep it a broad church. Let's keep the othering down to a minimum and view things with a curious interest, as I've done. I'd like to say, there's me talking to David in 1994 in one of UK's busiest shopping centres, incongruously so. Well, both of us looking a lot younger then. It wasn't really an interview. He just spoke at me for an hour, and then I had the interview transcribed, and it's been subsequently been lost. I could claim that it's been, it's been taken away from me, couldn't I? No, but I just lost it. Actually, the interview, that is, not. I didn't lose it in the general sense, although some people do suspect that, especially after sharing that with you. What a mullet! The original makers of barcodes used to swipe products admitted gratuitously using a 666 pattern. Mark of the beast! Oh my goodness! Rather than 888, for example, they apologized after negative comments and threats. Okay. Thank you for that, Adrian. always a source of very interesting tangential information. So there you go. Anyway, I just thought that was fascinating. I did not lose it. Debatable. Morning, Matty. Interesting. I thought that the Joana Amaral Diaz, a presidential candidate here in Portugal, flying to London to protest against digital IDs. I mean, goodness knows, I don't know what your view of it is, but I think we've enough tentacles of the state in Portuguese affairs here. And I'm not complaining, I'm not knocking it. I just think, do we need? I mean, some might argue we've already got digital ID here to a great extent, but let's not keep encouraging that sort of behavior, shall we? Where we basically are completely sort of owned, it would appear, by. Well, I'll tell you what. Here's my view on it, especially after what went on a few days subsequently or consequently with the digital ID march in London. The HMRC, the tax portal over there, went down and nobody could get on it. Shall we say, okay, once you've proven, governments of the world, that you can be trusted with the information and that you're entirely working in our interests, that's a sort of referendum you're never going to see, is it? I suspect the one that says, I trust that the government has my best interests in heart, and they're all over it with the security and management of my personal data. And on that basis, I might be interested. However, we don't have a lot to go on, do we? To say it's like governments are like alcoholics. It's going to be different this time, isn't it? I'm sorry about the past. It was the other lot anyway, and it's going to be different this time. It's like, well, we don't believe you. there you go. Thank you, man. Government trust. We are set. Come on. All right. Put the tinfoil hats down now, everybody. Joanna has been an activist since COVID. Yeah, absolutely. I think she has. And you'll see her on CNN because CNN like to bring in somebody, I think, don't they, with what seems like a very extreme opinion and have her having a bit of a rant on the telly. So yeah, as I was saying, if it's hard to avoid Portuguese TV. You've probably seen her because you've been in a cafe and she's been up there on the news. Jackie, they can't enforce any mandatory digital ID until UK government legal battle with Apple is over or won by Kia, and he's got no chance. Yeah, well, there's all sorts going on, and this is some things happening part 2, and I dare say there's going to be many parts to this. So when we started the conversation yesterday, something's happening, and that music's perfect, isn't it? I think that music at the end of that clip there could be called the "Wake Up Sheeple" music, which is a phrase I absolutely detest, and the idea as well. It's inconvenient, it's unpleasant, I think, to other people, and that can so easily happen with this conspiratorial stuff, and Joanna saying the people of Portugal are asleep and so on. It's not very helpful. I think there are better ways of winning friends and influencing people rather than blaming or shaming others. I mean, that's how we got into this mess in the first place. So we need some new tactics. Those of us who want a different, not a brave new world, but a different world of freedom, collaboration, and the dawn that might follow some of this darkness that's going on at the moment. We'll need to do that, as Mel said yesterday, not in the ways that we have used that got us into this mess. We'll need new ways. The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. I am doing a very good job of ignoring the TV sets in cafes or restaurants. Have you got one of those remote controls that you could just jam it or turn it off? I need to cough. Excuse me, I'm worried about Barak. I suspect he will be with us. Oh yeah, he is with us, and he's going to do a live. Oh, that's going to be fun this morning. You're going to see Barak try and use technology again this morning. So what do you do, since I don't understand him anyway, unless it's some sport I'm familiar with? Lol. Going well then, Matty, learning Portuguese in the cafes, I see. Do they televise human hunting now, Matty? I think that's a specialist channel, probably later on in the evening, Pete. You do see some rum things on the Portuguese TV of an evening, don't you? I mean, in the middle of the day, you're seeing a Hollywood blockbuster drama, a drama movie with someone getting their guts blown out while you're trying to have your prato de dia. And lots of effing and jeffing in a slightly sort of a mismatched cultural thing going on with a Hollywood film being shown at lunchtime. But anyway, Mel, they can and are, for company directors, already done in Australia, then more and more slowly but surely. Oh, okay, that's the digital ID rollout. Simply, Liv Mel, there's a huge battle going on with UK government and Apple. Look up Black Belt Barrister. He made a fab video about it yesterday. He's quite a character, isn't he? And there is an ongoing COVID inquiry where it's being admitted some mistakes were made. Perhaps they were overzealous. Perhaps they were completely incontinent. Sorry, not incontinent. Incompetent. Boris was presenting himself not in a very tidy way, it has to be said, yesterday. Chris Whitty, absolutely disgraceful men presenting their view of it and affirming the people who like to wear a certain kind of outfit. As you can see on your screen right now. I love Portuguese TV, says Pete. The Joker is like every bad 70s TV game show, but with even worse prizes. But they have so much fun, don't they? And that's the beautiful thing about it. People are really enjoying themselves, it would appear, on Portuguese TV. Somos Portugal, the journey around Portugal, looking at the food, the fashions, the arts and crafts and the music. I love those shows. They're so jolly. I work for a Brit company, and he is being required to do ID within coming months, or company gets. Is that for real? You might call that fascism, might you not? Where corporations, in fact, wasn't that Mussolini's definition of fascism, when the government and corporations work together? It looks like they're fighting each other in the case that you've mentioned there, Jackie, Apple and the government, but quite a lot of the time, other corporations will be working with the government. And interestingly enough, they're often corporations that have some sort of connection with the politicians, like a family member, that sort of thing. But I'm sure everything's okay. Don't worry about it. I was asleep, then I woke. seen the world for what it was and decided I don't give a fig about most of it. So I prefer to concentrate in my soaps and a cuppa instead. I'm sorry if I took you out of that charmed world that you've created for yourself, which I entirely endorse and think is a good idea. I just thought it was interesting that a Portuguese presidential candidate would be flying to London to protest against digital IDs and ends up having a chat with, the other guy was Piers Corbyn, who is the brother of Jeremy Corbyn. And it must be a very interesting, not that they would have a Thanksgiving, more of a Christmas dinner, although they probably don't celebrate a Christmas dinner. I don't know. I'm not sure. Yet it is real, small businesses at least, and I had to deregister my company in Australia a couple of years ago. We've only just started a company here now. Do I have to go all digital ID here in Portugal? But as I say, we might, in many ways, you might as well be, but it's the principle of it that counts, isn't it? Giving your last ounce of privacy away to a government whose motives you might, not necessarily any particular government, but just the general idea that we need governing and to imagine, or not to even imagine, but to see what the performance is like of these characters to whom we're giving all this information. Anyway, perhaps enough said about that. We can move from conspiracy to catspiracy this morning. And the other morning, I need your help, actually. Does anybody have one of these that they'd like to give away? You might have one of these. This is the cat keyboard attachment. And I found out the other day when my keyboard stopped working, I tipped it up to have a look at it, and water came out of it. I'm hoping it was water, quite frankly. Cats were involved. They had knocked over a glass of water. Before the glass of water had hit the deck, it had splashed all over my keyboard, rendering it, luckily a wireless one, not directly plugged into the mains, thankfully, frying me, for which I would not have forgiven them. I've got 2 cat anecdotes for you this morning in the continuing catspiracy theory, where I believe my cats, not only are the government are trying to give me a digital ID, my cats are trying to finish me off and assume supremacy in this establishment. But that was their first little bit of hijinks the other day, filling my keyboard with water. And then late, I think it was the night before last, there was a kerfuffle that I really didn't have the appetite for. 2 cats fighting in my bedroom. I picked up a cushion to throw at them. There are times when you wonder, why have we got all these cushions around the bed? When you go to a hotel or someone's house in their guest room, and there's 27 cushions in there, you think, what are these for? I discovered what they were for the night before last. They're for throwing at fighting cats. Unfortunately, my aim wasn't very good. It caught the corner of the TV, which is perched at the end of the bed. The TV went flying. I tried to turn it back on, and it wouldn't work. Mrs. M was pretty miffed, I got to say, about that. Fortunately, it had been unplugged in the incident, and that's why it wasn't working. The TV is fine, but boy, she was mad. And the weird thing was, she said to me, I was so mad, I was going to get the TV and throw it out the window onto the lawn. And that would have broken it. It wasn't actually broken, but that would have broken it, which would have been some sort of, I was saying to her, like a Roald Dahl tale of the unexpected situation there. So, yeah, if you've got anything that you can lend me whilst I battle the catspiracy here against me in this household, these sorts of items for covering up your keyboard, they run at me from behind, leap up onto the countertop, and then lay on the laptop. They're I'm sure you can feel my pain. Some of you I know will be going, oh, it's so cute, aren't they? No, really not cute when you're trying to do something. Probably when you're in a government portal, a slip of a keyboard button could mean a difference, in a big difference in a tax return, for example. Right. And have I complained enough? Let's just go, and we'll bring Barak on in a few minutes. And extra value this morning, Barak will be trying to make the technology work live on the show. It's always a giggle when he does that, and let's see how he gets on this morning. We were going to have a sound check before the show, but for some reason the Lord wasn't ready. I imagine his butler hadn't got him ready in time for the show. Yes, that's right. It would appear. A few more comments, a few more other memes, lighter-hearted stuff this morning. Oh no, do we have to talk about Prince Andrew in the chat? What are you saying here, Pete? Okay. No, I'm not going to be reading that, of course, this morning. You can read that for yourselves. Peter up to date with the palace gossip there. My dad, Stop it, you lot. Carl, try a water pistol. Yeah, I did buy. I made the mistake of buying some Chinese shop water pistols. Not of the best quality. I think I got wetter than the cats using a Chinese shop water pistol. I'm gonna have to buy something a little bit more accurate. The Nerf must make a professional range of water pistols, the sort of things that could bring a cat down at 50 meters. To convince cats to not fight in your bedroom. Thank you, Matty. But can you imagine if my spray had been a little bit off target and I'd sprayed the telly? Doesn't bear thinking about, does it? I don't think I can read any of your. No, I've got 2 dogs. The big dog, he just likes playing with the cats. What's wrong with these animals here? Meltdown amongst immigration lawyers over overload. I was sacked by mine yesterday. You were sacked by your immigration lawyer after I'd sent my brain injury identity card apologizing for an error. It says working all 7 days in 7. Not sure what else comes after that, Adrian, but you've been fired by your own lawyer. Is that allowed? I guess it is, isn't it? They're a professional service company. They work with who they want. You must have really peed them off. Could they have just added more to your bill? I mean, that would. I think Barak comes from the law. That's the way to deal with a difficult client, isn't it? Just charge them more. Rottweiler is top of my list for my next dog addition to my farm, says Matty. Other options are the Carne Corso, the Rhodesian Ridgeback, and the Jack Russell Terrier. Offered me my money. You must have exhausted that lawyer. A lawyer that offers you your money back? What? let's see what Barak thinks about this. Barak, good morning to you. Hola, bon dia.
Good morning. I've never heard of that.
You just saw there.
I've never heard of that.
No, me neither.
I've never heard of an attorney giving money back.
He must be a broken man,
that's
right?
the first.
Adrian must have
I
broken
can't
him.
imagine what must have happened for an attorney to want to give money back. Here, I don't want to deal with you. I don't want to look at you. Just go the hell away. Here's your money. Just stop. Go away.
And a bonus, please. Here's the NDA. It's like, if you promise to never contact me again, I will put a bonus on there.
Right. I'll even give your consultation feedback. Just go away.
That's not an NDA. That's an NFO or a please FO.
Yes.
Could you just sign the please FO form on the way out? Wow, what to do, Adrian, to warrant that? Barak, how are you this morning? Not as early on the screen as you were hoping, right? Your butler was a bit slow this morning getting you ready.
Yeah, she was a little bit.
Right. Okay. She a butlerette. That's a good idea.
Hey,
Yes. Yeah.
Equal opportunities here.
Yeah, yes. Ever the stickler for an equal op. Well done. And you've been well. I mean, this slot is called Barak's Beef. Like, oh, what now, Barak, here in Portugal? And I was getting the feeling distinctly that Portugal has kind of taken the fight out of you a little bit. But are you back? Are you back waving your fists again this month?
Well, a little bit. I was for a little while, and then it managed to work itself out. So I was trying to find a alternative place to where I currently buy the alfalfa for my horses. And I found a place, and surprisingly enough, as Facebook does, it listens to everything you say, and then it reaches out and finds stuff. It's like Big Brother.
Yeah.
And
you're right. Sports bras for me. I keep getting sports bra adverts after.
See, there you go. You for sports bra, I look for alfalfa. My 2 minutes.
Nicely done.
So, sure, I found this place. It popped up. Okay, I reached out to them and I said, hey, this is what I'm wanting. This is what I need. Send me some pictures. They did. It looked okay. And so I told the guy, send me 75 bales. He says, okay. And I said,
that's a good order, isn't it? It's a good start. Good start to a relationship.
Right. Well, yeah. So he comes back and he says, oh, well, can you take 170? And I said, no, 170. I said, 170 is going to last me over a year. I said, it's going to mildew, it's going to mold, it's going to rot. Oh, no. That doesn't happen. I'm sorry. I've been in the horse business.
It's not
long
your
enough
first
to know.
rodeo, is it? Not your first rodeo.
Right. Yeah. So he says, it's not going to rot, it's not going to mildew, it's not going to mold. I said, how do you figure? How do you figure? I said, I will save all of the bales that mildew and mold, and then you can reimburse me for those. And he said, well, we can't do that. I said, then I'm not taking 170 bales. I said, I don't have room for it, and it's not going to last. Oh, well, I can do that, but I pay my delivery person 50 cents per kilometer or whatever it is.
Yeah, okay.
And then I've got this and I've got that, and it's not a full load. And so I need to charge you an extra 50 euros.
I see.
And I said, well, no. No. So that's not what we discussed. I never said I wanted more than 75 bales to start with. So here's your option. You can either accept my business and deliver 75 bales at the agreed upon rate, or I'll go find somebody else. You're not the only game in town. I'll
Tough
go
love.
find somebody else.
Tough love right there from Barak. Yeah.
And he's like, oh, well, how about 120 bales? And I said, how about the 75 bales? He's just like, well, but I still have to charge. I said, no, you don't. I said, your problem is your problem. It's not my problem. And you're not going to make your problem mine.
Yes, exactly. This is what was going through my mind. He was making his problem your problem, wasn't he? And
right.
Collaborative approach, sharing the, win-win.
Share the pain. I'm not going to share your pain. You need to come up with a better business, model, or just put on there a minimum of.
Yes.
That would have solved it. If he'd put a minimum of, I'd have said, okay, fine, I'll go someplace else.
Yeah.
So he says, well, I have to talk to my brother. Talk to whoever you need to. You do you. About 2 days later, he comes back and he says, oh, well, I talked to my brother. Good for you. At least you do that. I don't talk to mine, so that's okay. Good for you.
Sorry to hear that.
It's not a problem. I'm better off that way. And he said, we'll go ahead and we'll do it this time. I said, okay. I said, now I'm going to throw a monkey wrench in there. I said, I'm going to be at Golga. Do you want to deliver only 5 bales to Golga? Because I'm only there 10 days. So I don't need 120 bales at Golga for 10 days.
No.
I'm going to be there anyhow. I'll probably be there. So sure, I can deliver 5 bales.
Oh.
So you'll deliver 5 bales to Golga, but you won't deliver 75 without an extra fee to Saya.
Yes.
Okay.
Was he going to Golga anyway? Did he maybe had a full load of other people's bales in Golga?
Maybe he did. Maybe he did. Yeah. So, and maybe the fact that he's in Tomar instead of who knows where, Alentejo or something. So,
yes,
Tomar is just a rock's throw from Golga. So,
have you made the acquaintance of Rod Skeet yet?
I did talk to him,
right?
And I honestly I don't remember what the whole conversation was.
Yeah.
It was
Rod gets a job done. Rod knows a lot about animal feeds, I think, and he's definitely into horses and old buildings. Always an interesting chat with Rod. A few people will know him from this community, but he's another. So how is this resolved then? Have you got are your horses hungry at the moment? Nothing worse than a hungry horse.
No, right? we still have enough, but supposedly he's supposed to deliver the alfalfa this week. And I said, well, so am I going to pay you when you deliver? Because I don't want to pay and then you not deliver. He says, that's fine. He said, okay, I hope you put a tarp over it because it's raining up here. And if the whole load gets wet, I'm not buying any of it.
Oh my goodness.
Because it'll mold and mildew.
Yes. Yeah. And he said, yes, don't worry. It'll be fine.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Famous last words.
I've got the feeling you might be a little bit worried. That wasn't enough to completely free you of any concerns you might have.
No, I'm checking with him to see what day and what time he plans on delivering, so I can be there, so I can actually see if it's covered or how he's delivering it and what it looks like before I give him any money. And if it's not to what I expect, he can just turn around and leave.
Yes, well,
I'll get it someplace else.
Okay, so something to look forward to later on this week. But you've changed. But I think Portugal is working on you
a little bit.
I think you prefaced this with, it's kind of blown over a bit now. I never expected you to utter such platitudes before now. So there is something, there are the different tectonic plates at work here, aren't there? And Portugal is working its magic on you. I think you're not quite as bothered as you used to be about things, right?
Correct. At least for now. We'll see what happens. We'll see what comes up. There may be something else that may come up and really fry me.
Undoubtedly. It's sort of personal development guru stuff, isn't it? You can't, or the Celtic prayer, you can't really change what's going to be happening, but you can change how you respond to it. And my goodness, you do get a lot of those.
Well, there is another beef, but it's not even here in Portugal. It's back in the States, and I'm just trying to get my driving record so I could exchange my driver's license up here. We all know how that goes, right? Yeah.
DMV. I mean, that's one of your most dreaded organizations, is it not, in the United States?
Well, that wasn't so bad.
Right.
I put in my request for my driving record. I said, send it to a courier in the city of Austin, because that's where the Secretary of State is, so that I could get the apostille on it and they could send it to me.
Yep.
Very simply, very easy, because the DMV is in Austin. The courier's in Austin. They happen to be on the same street. You
could be forgiven for thinking that could all work out really nicely, right?
You would think.
You would think. All right.
I requested originally my driving record to go to a friend, and then now to the courier. It started back in July.
Yes.
We're in October.
I got my driving license back from IMT yesterday. I got some great help from ACP, but I don't think you can do that with
the stuff in the US.
AAA.
I finally got my driving record in the mail yesterday with the apostille on it. However, the courier service in Austin seems to have lost the tracking information, and they've lost my credit card information. So I got my driving record, as far as I'm concerned, for free. If they don't have my credit card, I'm not paying them.
Silver lining. Yeah. It would appear customer service ain't what it used to be back in the United States.
No, it's not.
No,
it's not. It's not.
Well, okay, some great value from you this morning. Here's a response. And one day when you're having your second or third or fourth wind as a successful multimillionaire entrepreneur, Barak Alfalfa Zabel, they will say, what inspired you to start growing alfalfa? And why not, Barak?
Actually, Jackie, I've already plowed up the bottom part of my property.
You're on it.
I planted seed. Seed. So
this
rain is going to help.
You're becoming Portuguese instead of complaining about it.
Tell the world.
No, instead of sort of doubling down in an American way. I know my rights. This is terrible service. Deal with it, which has fallen on deaf ears for you on a number of occasions.
Much. Yes.
It's like, I know. I'll grow my own alfalfa. Man, I'm loving seeing this transformation right in front of our eyes.
Yes. So yeah, I'm trying to grow my own.
This time next year, if you want some alfalfa, anybody, Barak's and a nice holiday break as well. How's it going with DMZ travel?
It's slow. There's a lot of good deals out there.
Yeah. Takes a while, doesn't it, to start a business?
It does. There's a big show, if you will, travel show that's coming up in February. That's going to be in Lisbon.
Yeah.
And I think the first 3-4 days is just for the travel agents and companies, and then they open it up to the public on the weekends, and so the public can come in and walk around, see what's going on, book trips. So
I think I might be there this year because one of my colleagues here in San Martino, he's there representing San Martino de Porto. I don't know if it's the Portuguese. I think it might be where Portugal represents itself to the world as well. Is that right? Are we talking about?
Could be.
Yeah, and I couldn't go last year, but I've got a standing invitation to go. So I'm talking of game show host, the guy from The Price is Right, I think was on the stall. So I'm looking forward to having a selfie with him. Maybe I'll see you there then. So you're thinking of taking a stall, or are you going to walk around and just see what's what?
Oh no, I'll be with travel experts, and
Oh,
I'll bring
cool.
my laptop and try and do a little business.
Do a
So I'll
little
be there
business. Very good.
I'll be there on Saturday. I'll get the dates, and I'll let you know so you can publish it so people can
All
show
right,
up
yeah,
on the
be
weekends.
delighted to. Let's finish our conversation with that. But there's a few things, and also you testing the technology live on air and seeing
Yep,
how we get on with that.
we'll see how that
Thank,
works.
yeah. Thank you for your extra Portuguese lesson for us today. Did I hear you say mice or menace? Figure that out. Okay. Pedder's here as well. Good to see you, Pedder. A few other comments. These might be suggestions about your alpha predicament. No one expected to be hearing that this morning, that there is a guest with an alfalfa predicament.
Alfalfa issue, yes,
We shall
yeah.
see. We shall see how that goes on. Oh, and Adrian's got back to us with what's happening with his lawyer. So you might be able to give a little bit of advice on that as well.
Oh no,
Bora Bob. How's everyone doing today? That's a Welsh greeting, everybody. The weather is cool but dry today, so I'm going to tidy up the garden after being away for 3 weeks. Autumn has definitely arrived. I can't think of anything more British than being in your garden, tidying up, having an occasional cup of tea, and then a little snooze in the chair afterwards. That sounds idyllic there. I had queried things. Okay, this is where the trouble started, I think, with the lawyer. You've been questioning the lawyer. I think it's his job to question you, Milad, and been proven. Oh dear. This is going very badly for the lawyer.
oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Good Brazilian lawyer on UK end so far complains too many clients. I have my non-specialist reserve and am preparing a response. He says somewhere, my response. He sounds quite loyally himself here, doesn't he? My response will be measured and balanced, and will include requests for information on the do-it-yourself lawyerless procedure. Well, that's a red flag. Along with a referral. Oh dear, to the public prosecutor with a merciful offer. It looks like, I mean, from your experience, that's going to end in tears, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah,
Not gonna go.
yeah. That's not going to end well.
Okay, right. Yeah, challenging somebody on their professionalism and taking it to the ombudsman, as it were, I think is going to be that's going to get the big guns out. I suspect. Matty, make my problem. You pay for does work for a lot of people, unfortunately, says Matty. Not with Barak, it doesn't.
Nope.
But bon dia to you, Pedder. Yeah, why not grow your own? That is a very good idea.
Yep.
What's this? We were so dry, I accidentally set fire to a window box at the weekend. And that is dry. And planting required a constant hose, but our wicking beds worked most of the summer, and irrigation was awesome. Well done, Pete, on that. Are you going to make some videos, Pete, on the solar life business and your gardening? I'd love to see those. 3 wells and a spring, and 2 are fine, but 2 are nearly dry. I'm never without water. We have also mains, which we haven't had on for 4 years since we filled the pool. Very good. Solar Life, you got some amazing systems in situ. He does. And Rui Correa is here. Good morning to you, Rui. Good to see you. Brazilian lawyers are great for Brazil. In Brazil. No
Yes.
idea why that is a discussion in Good Morning Portugal. Well, thank you, Rui, for your contribution this morning. I'm gonna put you on a spot here now, Barak. With some
Yes.
well, I mean, just generally speaking, that's what's happening, and you cope very well. Must be from your possibly from your law background. Were you a courtroom lawyer at all? Did you have to
Nope.
stand? Oh, okay. So you didn't do the 12 Angry
Nope.
Men scenario.
Nope.
Oh, okay,
No,
thankfully.
no. I mainly dealt with bankruptcy.
Oh, did
So
you?
most of
Okay.
that is dealt, out of court. I mean, you do go to court for bankruptcy, but it's completely different.
It's
It's not
quick. It
sitting up
can
and
be a quick
arguing
business,
like
can't
that.
it? Isn't it a
Sorry?
rubber stamp? Isn't it a rubber stamp when it goes to court? If all goes according to plan.
I wouldn't so much say it's a rubber stamp. I mean, you've got creditors who come in and they want to complain, and they say the that their claims should be taken over others, or their claims should be paid, and then it depends if they're secured or unsecured claims.
Oh, I see. Okay, yeah.
And then if there's it's a whole.
Yes.
I could kill 2 hours going through bankruptcy.
It
I don't
must
think we
be.
have that.
Phew, I bet you needed a glass of wine after a day doing that sort of stuff. A lot of sad stories, I suspect, and all sorts of
Yes.
acrimony with that sort of thing. People, yes, bargaining for what they're going to get on their dollar. That's a very interesting scenario. Chris is here. I
Yep.
love my lawyer firm in Lagos. They are amazing. gold dust. When you've got them, hold on to them, look after them, give them a bottle of wine at Christmas at the very least. Take them out for lunch. Right, we have on the screen here, this is yesterday's, I have to say, and we'll put you on the spot for today's as well. We were asking which city hosted the University of Portugal, one of the oldest in Europe, and most people, well, I think the three people who bothered to put their name to a city chose Coimbra, as you might expect. However, point of order, Chairman, just to be a pedant, says the coach, the university now found in Coimbra was originally based in Lisbon. They moved to Coimbra before a couple of trips back to Lisbon, finally arriving at its current location in 1537. Yes, remember it well. I think I saw that in a Portuguese cafe on a telly back in the day there. Let's move that then and bring us up to date with today's. Rui, you might like to chance your arm with this. Let me just take that off the screen and share the right one for today. Portuguese citizenship test question number 37 today. I don't know how you've been doing with these, Barak. I think you like to have a little dabble with these, don't you? I've noticed.
Yeah, I have. Yeah, on a few of them.
From time to time. Right, okay. Let's go to question 37 then. And it is, what is the name of the traditional cloak worn by students in Coimbra? Carrying on from yesterday's university question. Now, it's thought, isn't it, that J.K. Rowling was inspired not only by the Livro Lello in Porto for a library in Hogwarts, but also quite like the capes of the Portuguese students, which she'll have seen those in most Portuguese cities, of course, definitely in Coimbra. Oh, and Joana Amaral Dias, who we had on the show earlier on, if only by video link, she was complaining about the bullying that goes on, the hazing, I think you call it in the United States, don't you? And she was calling that out recently on the telly. Is it A, the capote? Is it B, the traje académico? Or is it C, the mantilla? What are you tempted to go for on that, Barak?
Oh, let's go B.
That sounds pretty wise, a pretty wise choice to me. I'm going to go for that as well. I'm going to do that live right now, actually, as we speak. So yes, go for B, the traje académico. Let's see if we get any corroboration from that, from Rui or any other Portuguese experts on account of being Portuguese. Other news, Barak, before we go, unless there's anything else you wanted to share with us from a sort of beefy point of view, or your life as it's shaping up here in Portugal, before I go to a couple of other memes here this morning.
No, I've got a trip. If you want to look at a trip,
I'd love to do that as our climax together, if you
okay.
if you don't mind. These I always find interesting. Annual vegetable consumption. We like the veg, don't we?
Yes.
Here in Portugal, quality. And how has this worked out? It's kilograms per capita. If you only eat Brussels sprouts, for example, that's a hell of a lot. 120 kilos thereof. Probably need medical treatment after that.
I think so.
Portugal, actually not among the highest consumers of vegetables, but certainly not the lowest. I think they probably make up for it in fruit as well. The fruit's fantastic in this country. Highest, Croatia, Albania, and Northern Macedonia. And it might be in places where they eat less meat and more vegetables, of course. I think we have quite a balanced diet here. 120 kilos then for the Portuguese per capita consumption of vegetables, but not like the lowest, like the Dutch or the Slovakians or the Norwegians. Yeah, Norwegians are going to be eating a lot of fish protein, are they not?
Yeah.
And not too many vegetables on account of not being able to grow them very well in their native climate. Right, okay. And another thing I wanted to share with you is Portugal's done well. Best breads in the 50 best breads. Thank you, Maria. The Azorian green bean the Azorian green bean. How did I miss that today is World Bread Day? That was October the 16th, so we missed it as well. But congratulations to Portugal having 4 breads in the top 50 of the top 50 breads in the world. Number 6 is the Pão Alentejano. Number 10 is the Bolo do Cacau from Madeira. Nice with a burger, that. Number 30 is the Bolo Levedo from the Azores. And number 49 goes to the Broa de Milho, the cornbread. However, why is the Papa Seco or the Pão d'Avo not on there? Do you like Portuguese bread, Barak?
We do. Yeah. In fact, I made Bolo de Cacau, I guess last week, so we still have some.
You made it?
Yeah.
You didn't.
I did.
You did.
It's easy.
Really? So could you run us through that?
It's basically go find a bag of the sweet potatoes, about a kilo that's uncooked, and then a kilo of bread,
Yeah.
and mix it with a package of dry yeast, and add just a little bit of water until you can just get a nice dough ball, and let it rise. Punch it down. I think you let it rise for about an hour or two,
Yeah.
and then separate it off into small balls for the bread. Flatten them out. Let those rise for about a half an hour, and then put them in a pan without any oil or anything. Fry them till they get brown on both sides, and stick them in the oven for about 20 minutes. I think it was 220, maybe.
Is that something that you started doing since you're here in Portugal? Or it sounds like you've always done those?
Uh, Bolo de Caco? No, I've not always done them. I've done them since I've been here,
Right.
but I've always cooked. I've always baked bread or cooked or something. So yeah,
Very good, very good. Hola, bom dia, Antonio F. Good to see you here this morning. We're working on this introduction, or Antonio's introduction to Portuguese music. It's coming together very well. He's given me so many links that we're now having to group them together by genre. We will be doing that soon. That's fascinating. Did you say a principal ingredient is potato in the bolo de cacao?
sweet potato.
Okay, hence why it might go so well with Coach Turner's suggestion here with garlic butter. That actually sounds delicious. It's making my mouth water as we
It
speak.
really
But
is.
yeah,
I've done that
welcome.
as well.
Right, welcome to the show this morning, and well done, Portugal, on getting 4 breads in the top 50 around the world. The pão de avó, the basic bread roll where people have a sandwich. I mean, I thought that was quite quaint when I came to Portugal, that people might have a sandwich in the morning, or even just bread and butter. But the bread is so good, it warrants being eaten alone with your coffee. This is torture. I love all different kinds of bread, says Rui. My wife still does some sometimes, but she has put me on some stupid keto diet BS going insane here. Right. I didn't think Portuguese bread had any carbohydrates or
I don't
calories
think so.
in it. No, I don't. I think you'll
No.
be fine, Rui, if you want to challenge your wife on that. Tell her we said so. We'll use my. Oh, hold on a bit. Back to the lawyer business here. I've always been respectful to this Portuguese lawyer, which is why the other lawyer has reacted calmly to events. Brazilian lawyer based in England was an indirect reference from the Lisbon one. Okay, we'll use my non-local specialist Coimbra lawyer to sort out the rest. I think he's very sensible. Good luck with that. And I don't mean that in a loaded way, or maybe I do just a little bit, Adrian. I'm
I think
somewhat
you do.
concerned. Yeah. Um,
You do.
I hope you're near a good cafe. Yeah, get over to Stockwell, Rui, and get some Portuguese bread in you. What's the matter with you, man? You're betraying your culture by going on a keto diet. What is this nonsense? You should be
I have
having
a
rice
question
and
though.
chips. Go on, mate. Who's that guy in the
So,
picture?
go back to the vegetables. It said 120 kilos per capita.
Yes.
They did not include olives, obviously, did they? I know,
Well,
and olives, I'm presuming, is a fruit because it's got a seed. But
yes, yes,
uh,
yes.
I would venture to guess if they had included olives, we'd have been 250 plus.
He said. You hear him then? I think you're right. And Portugal wins again on a technicality. Tremosos, if you put in the lupin beans that you have with beer and olives, Portugal's just going to completely win that competition and knock Croatia off the top spot with that. But good
I think so.
point. Good point, sir. Excellent. Okay, take us away, Barak, with BMZ Travel. Where are we going? Are you going to try and share the screen
I'm gonna try and share a screen. Let's see what happens. Let's see if
Okay.
we can do this.
At this point, you can go and put the kettle on or catch up with a bit of paperwork as Barak attempts to. By Jove, I think he's.
I
What?
think I did it.
Oh
Check
my
that out.
word! Look at you! Yes!
He scores.
Woo! All right! All right, where are we going?
That 5 minutes getting up early this morning actually helped.
Yes. Put you in the
All
right
right.
frame of mind.
Yeah. Got a tour to Egypt.
Oh, nice.
It's 8 days, 7 night. Everything is included. It's 1,441 a person, which is pretty good. Pretty
Yeah.
good. It's your air 4 nights. It includes a 4-night Nile cruise. There's 3 nights in Cairo, 6 meals, all transfers, including travel insurance. day one, you leave from Lisbon to to Luxor,
Wow.
and then you get you've got an assistant there that'll help you with your visa and all the procedures there is getting their visa, and then they'll transfer you over to the cruise ship, or it's a small boat. Um, you could spend the day just on the boat and walking around Luxor a little bit. Day two, you visit the region of Luxor around Thebes. Um, Luxor is a temple dedicated to the god of Amun-Ra. You see the Theban necropolis, Valley of the Kings,
Get in.
Temple of Hatshepsut. Yeah, try saying that real fast 3 times.
Well, let's just go with some ancient and excellent historical artifacts, shall we?
There, that sounds good.
Go-
We could
What
do
it
that.
translates as, yes, yes.
Yes. You can stop with the colossal of Menmenoir, and then you return back to the boat, and you'll start your cruise. So you'll have day two will be a tour through Luxor before
Yep.
you get on the Nile cruise. Day three. Oh, that was a little fast, wasn't it? Here we go. Nope, right there. Okay. You'll go to Edfu and Komombo, and Aswan. So you'll visit the temple of Edfu.
That's one I've
Dedic-
heard of. There's a dam there, isn't there?
there
That's
is,
one dam,
there
yeah.
is,
Yeah.
and it was dedicated to the god Horus. Then you'll continue to Aswan, and you'll visit the temple of Kamombo. Temple, it's the only one that's dedicated to different gods. So it's Sobek, who had the crocodile head, and Horus, who had the falcon head. Everybody sees Horus.
Yes.
That's the one you always see in movies and things like that. The one that's got the falcon head.
Not so much crocodile head.
Right.
Yeah. Make it snappy. Yes.
They could be. You know,
Yeah.
don't want to piss him off.
No, that's true. I mean,
Just
but to
saying.
be fair, I mean, you don't want to upset any gods, really, do you? I mean, depending on how superstitious you are, but yeah, falcon head, crocodile head. Yeah, I would go if you had to choose. You'd probably be best to upset the falcon head.
I would think so.
Yeah,
I think
okay.
so.
Anyway,
It's
hopefully
not
that's
as
not going to happen on this particular cruise.
Hopefully not.
No, that's not going to go down.
Well, and especially if you're going up and down the Nile, you know, God, crocodile head, Nile water.
It's sounding interesting already, or more interesting than originally thought. Here now, so it's like a home from home because there's going to be visas to deal with, but they're going to be taken care of on your behalf, as you say,
Right.
by a helper.
Right.
And for those people who are struggling to face up to issues in their life, you will be in denial for for a little while, right?
At least for a little while.
Thank you very much. Okay.
Day four, you'll go to Aswan. You'll take a felucca. It's like a small boat. I had to look that up. I had no idea what it was.
Beg your pardon. Right.
Sure, yeah. Excuse you. God bless you. You'll have Aga Khan Mausoleum, the Amphithyne Island, Botanical Gardens. You'll visit Aswan Dam, the Philae Temple, which is dedicated to Isis, and then you'll return back to the cruise ship.
Wow.
And then day five, you fly to Abu Simbel, and so your cruise ship is done. You fly to Abu Simbel, and you'll have someone there. They'll help you with the transports and get your bags and things like that. You'll visit the archaeological site of Ramses II, built in honor of his wife Nefertiti. It's a big archaeological complex.
You are getting to say all the best Egyptian words. Are you regretting it a little bit? Are you thinking next time I'm going to choose England, where I can just say things like?
I think so. Next time I'm.
Worcestershire instead. Okay.
Well, I'm definitely going to stay away from Scotland and Ireland because those words are like this big, and I have to point with some point. Yeah,
this is the downside of running a travel company. Like, how about Germany? No, that's going to be really difficult.
No, that's hard. No,
right. American holiday. Next one's going to be American.
Right.
Make it nice and easy.
We'll go to the Caribbean.
Yes,
It's easy. I thought learning Portuguese was hard.
You're doing
Try
very
learning
well.
ancient Egyptian.
You're doing well. You're doing well.
It's the price you got to pay.
It is.
1400 is the price you got to pay.
So
You too can learn
1400 for
this.
a six-day trip in Egypt, seeing all the top sites, right, and being able to say Nefertiti as well.
Nefertiti.
Yeah.
out loud, not getting slapped.
That's right. This is great. Rui was saying earlier on, he mentioned Trump in Israel and Egypt. Is this trip inspired by the president?
No.
I thought you might say that.
No.
No. Okay. All right.
No,
So
I try not to keep up with the Twinkie. So
okay, so how to get in touch with? I think we the reason I put the great Terence Austin on the screen is because he calls me Giza, and you'll be going to Giza as well.
you will be going to Giza. You'll be going to the Valley of the Kings in Giza. Yes.
Yeah, amazing. 1400 of the euro.
1441. Yep.
Okay.
1441 euros.
Okay.
8 days, 7 nights.
8 days. Wow.
8 days.
Yeah. All right.
8 days.
And how best to book or to get in touch with you? We didn't.
You can reach me through here. You can reach me at BMZ Travel on Facebook. But if you go to Facebook, it's BMZ Travel altogether. If you put a space, it's somebody else. I don't know how that happened, but Facebook didn't pay. So
if you've got any complaints, use BMZ Travel with a space.
Send them to you.
Otherwise, no,
you're the complaint book. I've found that off on you. So send them to Carl if there's any complaints, and he'll reach out to me, and we'll have a beer over it.
We will. We'll schedule it for the next Barak. You've been a legend this morning. A few more comments, though, I think, for you to process here, or for us both to process. Quit the morning espresso over 20 years ago. Something really weird is happening. Barak, you're becoming more Portuguese. The two Portuguese men that we've got with us, one of them doesn't drink coffee and the other is on a keto diet. It's an upside down world we live in, isn't it?
It's got to be an upside down world. Yes.
I can't. It's very difficult to get your bearings in a world like this. Now it's chaos, anarchy. Now have it decaf occasionally after a meal, but have a galao, milk and coffee a couple of times. Well, thank God for that. Antonio, I considered the healthy thingy at one time. Yeah, once, then reconsidered. It seemed too hard. I'm not trained or qualified to be healthy. Is that? No more carbs for you, she says. What made her say that, may I ask? That's after one single slice of some tasteless bread she found on some woke shop. Do you mean a health food store? He's like, I think that's quite a stretch to call Whole Foods the woke shop. I'll have to start lying to keep my sanity. Yes, join the rest of the world, Rui. My abs are not going back to my 20s. It's a sad fact. We do have to face the truth sometimes. Rui, get a dog.
If everybody wants to exercise, you're more than welcome to come to my quinta.
Yes.
It's olive harvest season. If you'd like to come help, I've got at least 14 more trees. Is it raining still? It's raining. I guess I'm not doing it today. But I've got a lot more trees to do. I've got a ton of olives so far this year.
Mate, alongside the travel thing and growing alfalfa, you could run like a health farm, couldn't you? Because people are going to get out.
Absolutely.
You get a mucking out, picking the olives. They're going to look like absolute Adonises, aren't they, after a week or two at your place?
That's right. You wouldn't know I was 82.
You're looking amazing, mate. It's working for you, if I may say that.
Gotta be.
Wife to know what you're doing won't grass you up. Your secret's safe with us, Rui, until you're away a few days and dog walks your wife straight into a cafe. Yes, or the pub. Jackie, last week I massaged her. No, I messaged her. Massaging her is also a good idea, I would say. It's one of the great secrets of a happy marriage. I messaged her asking, can I eat a full English brekkie? Why would you do that, Rui? You knew what the answer would be to that. She said, no toast, no beans, no this or that. I think you should take the word full out then of that description. I think the end result would the coffee with a mushroom and an egg work? Oh dear. Gone are the days when you enjoyed life. Right.
How many Brits actually eat a full British breakfast anyhow? All the time.
No, that's
what I thought.
Weekend.
Come on.
No, the thing about a full English, if you're a working man, and I thought this the other day, it's been a long time since I've been into a cafe and said, can I have a cup of tea, please, in a British accent? I can't remember the last time I ordered a cup of tea. it just seems so weird now. The idea of ordering a cup of tea here you're going to get a green tea, you might get a sharpretto, but it's not going to be like a mug of tea in the smoke with a nice full English. My favorite was to go into a cafe, and this is when I was working physically. You can do it every day if you've got a physical job, I think. But if you do that once you've retired, you're in. That's not a good recipe, as the coach will tell you. But I used to like egg, bacon, beans and chips, please. Cup of tea, couple of slices on the side. Fantastic. And it's nearly a decade since I've been able to utter those words. I get a mini red wine with lupins the tremosos for 40 cents on non-fast days. Watch French MTV or football, read paper, and generally take it home from the bar 2 minutes away. Orthodox Christians fast days. You're allowed a compal with that. That sounds quite, one of the easier fasts, you might say, one of the more pleasant. Last night, Francisco Pinto Balsemão died at 88, former Prime Minister from 81 to 83, keeping us abreast of Portuguese culture here. Thank you, Antonio F., founder of the newspaper Expresso and relevant member of PSD. So, a loss to the political establishment last night at 88, Francisco Pinto Balsemão. So the Egyptians were praying to Isis back then already. Stop it. Understanding Islam tonight at 8:00. You can come back and ask that question if you want, but no silly behavior, please. Beyond the Algorithm, a conversation with Dr. Aleem, Understanding Islam at 8 tonight. Rui, if someone tried sorting my diet of my diet of cake, bread.
Have you had tea or coffee this morning?
I've had a cup of tea, mate.
It
hasn't helped. It hasn't kicked in yet, clearly.
No.
I would lock myself in a Cadbury factory and never. The Americans own it. I'm sorry to say this, Barak, but the Americans have ruined Cadbury. They've made our British chocolate taste like their American chocolate, and that is a loss to the world. I don't mind saying.
I don't disagree.
Yep.
I don't disagree. Absolutely.
Full Welsh has Barabrith, aka seaweed, in the mix there. So essential minerals alongside all the cholesterol. Dear Barak, I'm a prisoner in England. Gold, yes. Sushi with your full English, or Welsh on this occasion. Golden handcuffs, still a slave to flat numbers. Olive trees, do you want to harvest mine? If someone leaves me a small percentage of the final product, I'm happy. A tithe on that. It's a good arrangement. It's a standard practice here in Portugal, isn't it? That you get help and you get a little cut. And the landowner, the Lord, like Lord Barak here, gets to keep a little bit and lets the common people have a little bit as well to keep them happy.
I'm happy to do it. Like I said, I've done 7 trees. I've harvested 7 trees. I have 80 kilos sitting in buckets in the garage. I have 14 more trees to do. So you do the math. Yeah. I figure I'm going to wind up with somewhere between 120 and 160 kilos, which should get me about 12 to 13 liters of oil. We only had 5 liters last year, and we're just finishing it up. So there's no way I can go through 12 to 13 liters of oil.
That's brilliant. That is gold, isn't it? I mean, it
is. It absolutely is.
It's a beautiful thing. And I know we've got Claire here who's gone and spoilt it all today. We were talking about full English breakfasts, and here she is telling us that exercise is great and keto is great too, just to ruin our morning.
My exercise is walking the quinta with the dogs and taking care of the olives, and keto, I don't even know how to spell it, so it's fine.
I think somebody is already excited about going for a walk this morning. Who's that with you by your side and ready to go for a walk?
Sorry, this is my 11-year-old. This is Kai.
Oh, Kai, good morning to you. Ready for a walk by the look of it. Tail wagging, how beautiful. You don't get dogs jumping up on your laptop, thankfully.
No,
that was quite a mess,
thankfully.
wasn't it? Be careful. Yes. You should get the harvested olives pressed within 3 days after the harvest, otherwise they are ruined. Olive keeping.
I get them soaking in water.
And Pete, think yourself lucky. He's only got 1,000 trees to do this year. That's a lot of oil. And I have tasted it, and it's really very good. Barak, sorry to keep you. We're 10 minutes over, but we're being Portuguese about it. These things happen, don't they?
That's right. If in case anybody wants to call and book a trip, number is 9666 954.
Did you say 666? Right,
yes.
9666
666 954
954
99.
Funny enough, I like to split Portuguese phone numbers into 3 lots of 3. I find it easier.
My wife does the same thing, and then when I do that, I can't remember my phone number, so I just do it my way.
There it is. And Pedder, yes, thank you for that. Your Cymru pronunciation, or Cymraeg pronunciation, is great. Fair dues. My ex-wife was an English woman, but brought up in Bangor, so that's where I learnt. It's probably a Bangor joke in there somewhere, but that's where I learnt a little bit of the Barak and some of the. I think you've been listening, haven't you? Been listening to me responding in Welsh this morning, but that's where I picked it up. Rui, finally. Exercise. Come on, you've got to let us go now, everybody. Exercise is great. Keto is torture. I'm always happy doing physical exercise, but not enough time to do as much as I want. There you go. Multitasking, I think. Why not listen to the Good Morning Portugal show whilst working out? Rui, there you go. You're very welcome. Follow us for more life hacks on Instagram, Barak? Thanks, mate. Have a great month, and we'll see you again soon. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you again tomorrow.
Great. Thanks, Carl. Take care. See you, everybody.
Adios. Hasta luego. Ciao, ciao.
In Portugal, there's a YouTube show full of fun